Hello folks, and a warm welcome. You're tuned in to My Meditation, the Outdoors series. My name's Guy Cross, and I'll be introducing you to some interesting people with some interesting ways of using the outdoors to help sustain a healthy frame of mind. With being an outdoor lover myself, and using the outdoors to take care of my own mental health, I've always been curious as to how other people use outdoor hobbies and activities to take care of themselves, and that curiosity led me to the birth of this podcast series. My guests will talk about their favourite outdoor hobby, and we'll go into depth of how it helps them find peace of mind. Hopefully one of, if not many of the hobbies within this series will help you, or at the very least inspire you. And that's the whole aim of these podcasts, to fill you with ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of before, and to hear some positive, encouraging, real-life stories from my guests. Sometimes, hearing someone else's perspective on a hobby or activity gives you a fresh new way of looking at it, which can't be a bad thing, right? So without further ado, let's meet this week's guest. Hello everyone, this week I'm speaking to Sion Owen. He's born and bred on the beautiful island called Anglesey here in North Wales. He's a father of two kids who both suffer from autism. And hello Sion, how are you doing, buddy?
Hi Guy, how's it going? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Good. I just want to thank you for your time for doing this. I know you've got a bit on your plate at the moment, so I really appreciate your time of joining us here today,
That's absolutely fine, and I really appreciate you having me.
It's a pleasure, honestly. So, obviously we're going to talk about the outdoors today, and I know it's kind of fairly new to you, so do you want to just explain to the listeners kind of when you got into the outdoors and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I've been going up mountains now for just over 2 years. The main reason of it is from a 9-year relationship breakup, as you said about the two children. Feeling very accomplished in my lifestyle when I was with them. I didn't have any hobbies. I was just constantly busy and didn't have time for hobbies and stuff. But after the breakup, I had to move to my mum's house and just find I was having a lot of time to myself, a lot of time to think about things. And as the wounds were very fresh, I felt like that I had the need to find a new hobby. With all my friends being at certain ages and stuff, being married and having children themselves, I just had to find something I could do myself. And that's when I just decided to do Snowdon one day. I did it in very poor conditions, and it just gave me that absolute drive. I just felt so accomplished, after feeling so down and lonely and stuff like that. Having to just going outside and going up a mountain, as sad as it sounds, it just made me feel so good. Doing it in them conditions as well made me feel like I did it a little bit on a hard mode, if you like. And I just like finding it really nice that I can do things in hard mode as well, rather than doing things like a stroll in the park. I went to do something a bit more extreme, and I know it's just doing Snowdon, but to me it's the biggest mountain around, and it just gave me that really nice feeling. I was unable to make my own decisions and stuff before, feeling lost, unwanted, useless. And like I said, the Snowdon just gave me the confidence. It just brought my personality back and getting to know myself again. It just made me feel just absolutely amazing. And I was already planning to go up again before even reaching the car.
Yeah, you enjoyed it that much, right?
Yeah.
For the listeners that don't know, Snowdon's the highest mountain in Wales, and it's in Snowdonia National Park in North Wales, and it's not too far from Anglesey, where Sion's from. And he's lived kind of around that area all your life, haven't you, basically? And you've never kind of touched the mountains until, like you said, a couple of years ago. Your lifestyle's changed like dramatically. I mean, I seen a video on one of your social media pages the other day where you did I don't know, you're in like a holiday park somewhere, and you were showing kind of how much weight you've lost, basically. You're walking through a holiday park, right? And then you put a photo of you now, and it's like two different people. It really is.
It's mad because I feel like a different person as well. But just mentally, physically, just in every single way. I feel like I've gone online, bought a new body, and it's just But the amount of work I've had to put in there. But like I said, with all that mountain stuff, it just shredded, and it just came with it. It was the bonus for everything. The drive and motivation I was getting by doing my mountain stuff, and then obviously getting the compliments of people saying that I'm changing and stuff like that, I was motivating other people. People like, how do you do it? How can you be bothered doing it? And I'm like, some people, that they have to have a certain way of dealing with things. Some people turn to alcohol and stuff like that. I found that wouldn't be the answer to anything.
Yeah.
You got to pick yourself up. Other people do help you, but you have to help yourself.
Yeah.
You have to think about it. You have to look after yourself. As hard as times get, you just, it's easier said than done. But I lost, what was it? I was 18 stone and I'm down to 11 and a half, 12 stone now.
Wow, that's like a massive. It's like over 6 stone you've lost.
Yeah, and it's just absolute overwhelming self-love, and the confidence. Like I said, it's just absolutely amazing to be able to transform myself and do it for myself, importantly, not for no one else,
Yeah, I think like for you to have, picked yourself up from where you've left off, like we just said before, you've got a couple of kids there who have autism, which is difficult in itself. I've worked with autistic kids in the past, and I know how kind of hard that can be. And obviously going through a breakup with your ex-partner and all of that kind of crashing down on you, it's very easy to take another path, isn't it? Like you said, alcohol, drugs, or things like that. But You've been an overweight guy who's taken yourself up a mountain, the biggest mountain in Wales, straight away.
Yeah.
And before you, like you said, before you even got back down, you were thinking of the next time you're going to go up again. So instantly, from the first moment you've gone up them mountains, you've felt a massive help and relief, haven't you? Basically.
Yeah. Well, it was just having that time to yourself and having the environment around you. It's like it was absorbing the positivity and the beauty of everything, and just like building a block one by one, and I'm changing myself. I understood that it doesn't take a day to make things better. So by obviously having goals and achievements and aims and just constantly trying to thrive and better myself, obviously I'd have to go up the mountain faster to keep it interesting. And as I was doing this, that's how I felt. Like I was changing. I can feel my fitness changing completely, being able to go up there faster, and then keeping it to doing different routes, different conditions as well, being having that self-motivated self-trust and self-reliability. It's just such a nice feeling to be able to do things like you think you could not have done, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And now I mean, how many times have you been up Snowdon now? You've
81 times.
81 times. The last time I asked you, it was 76. So you've been up there another 5 times already since like a few weeks ago. Wow.
Yeah.
Fair play. Yeah, you're loving that mountain there. And I mean, do you go up around any of the other mountains around Snowdon?
I have started discovering other mountains, but like I said, I like to go with someone who's confident and done the mountains before, so I learn the routes off them. As I've done Crib Goch again, and that's definitely my favourite path up Snowdon.
Okay. It's just for the listeners. Crib Goch is it's the mountain right next to Snowdon, and it's the most dangerous. It's pretty. I've never done it actually, but it looks pretty hairy at the top.
It's like a knife edge. Yeah, it's nice to feel. It's dangerous, but it's nice to be safe and to be confident in yourself. To take your time. It does crush a lot of demons, being able to face your fears. But obviously being safe, like I said, is a very important thing. Having the confidence to do it, it just makes you feel like you've just done something really hard and you actually enjoyed yourself and did it with a big massive smile on your face. There's just something about that just makes you feel alive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's where I was just going to head with the conversation. Actually, we've talked on how it's kind of helped your fitness and that kind of thing, but talking about how it's helped you mentally, you just said then, when you're at the top of the mountain, you're just up there with a big smile on your face. It's clearly it's your meditation, isn't it? It's exactly what makes you feel good. It takes your mind off things, and just do you want to tell the listeners how it kind of helps you in that way?
Yeah, like like I said before, we're getting these goals and achievements. But when you're on the mountain and you're doing these things, it's just so nice to have something to focus on. And when you are up on the mountains, you can be yourself, and the amount of people you see up there that are friendly as well, because they're all into the same hobby and stuff like that, and you end up meeting a lot of nice people as well. I just find it really good for the mind that you can like go up the mountains, and like I said before, to absorb all the beauty and the nature and the different conditions, and just giving you the overwhelming, just amazing feeling of being on a mountain. You're not in work, you're not stressed about anything, and when you're on a mountain, everything seems so tiny, and your problems all of a sudden don't matter. You know, they completely flush all them horrible memories away. And there's just nothing better than wanting to feel like that when you're feeling down, and
Yeah.
that's why I always plan my next trip up. You know, I'm always checking the weather. I'm always ready to go back up. My boots are always in my car. I'm just anytime I can go up and the weather's on my side, I'll do it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And like I remember you saying to me in a phone conversation actually about it's always different as well, isn't it? The seasons change, the weather is always different up in the mountains pretty much, you know. So it's always feels like a different experience, doesn't it? It's the same mountain, but with all of the different conditions and things like that, it's always a different experience.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always pretty, you know, you get different colours, different lightings. Like I said, you go up in the morning before the sunrise, you go up after work and watching the sun go down. You know, it's very romantic, and it's nice to enjoy romantic moments by yourself as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
to
no,
experience, to experience these moments and to just like appreciate where you're from and the nature and just life itself, you know. It's really important to make sure that you give yourself that time, and you know, to experience these, to really appreciate a lot of things in life.
Yeah, definitely. And I know everyone's different. I mean, some people like to hike with friends, or you know, hiking partners or whatever, and other people like to hike on their own. Am I right in saying that you prefer hiking on your own? I mean, have you hiked with other people, or is it just something you like to just do by yourself?
Yeah, I do hike with other people. You know, some people, you know, they're like, oh wow, you do Snowdon all the time. You know, can I come up with you one time? And obviously, you know, being in life, I always want to be nice to other people, and I'd never turn them down. You know, I've taken people with heart conditions, you know, unhealthy people, older people who can't do these things, and being able to kind of hold their hand and tell them, you know, you're going to be safe with me because I've done this many of times, and they really do appreciate you being, you know, taking them up. They don't feel shy and embarrassed because I welcome them to it. We all have to start somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Which you have, obviously. You know, I mean, it must have taken a lot for you to kind of get from where you were to think of climbing that mountain.
I mean, I've been in their shoes and I've walked the same path, you know, but I've come out the other side, luckily for me. And that's why, like, I want other people to fall in love with doing these things as well. Even the people who've never done mountains, you know, I used to look at pictures on Facebook and stuff like that, and think it's just a mountain. Like, why are you so bothered about it? I went up when I was 33. You know, 33 years of living on Anglesey, 15 minutes drive away from Llanberis, and I was not interested at all. But you know, these life turbulence, you know, they do change you, and you know, it's.
I mean, what made you think of climbing Snowdon though? What made you choose that specific thing? It could have been anything. I mean, why that?
It's because I've felt so low, so like I wasn't achieving anything. I needed something to look at. I needed something to focus at, and I thought, well, Snowdon's not easy. You know, I'll try it and I'll see how I feel, and you know, I'll be able to tell people, oh, I've been up Snowdon first time. But never in 100 years would I expect to fall in love with everything, the whole feeling, the whole. Just everything. It's very hard to explain unless you do it yourself. You know, some people are like, oh my god, you must be sick if you enjoy doing that. And I'm like, well, you know, it's the motivation I get. The feeling. You know, it's like an adrenaline rush. You know, you always get it. And like I said, when you do it in different seasons, it doesn't get boring. And then I get competitive with myself.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and
which is great for your fitness and everything.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's great for the mind as well, because you look back at the first time you ever did it and how long it took to do it, compared to how long it takes to do it when you're at your best or your peak fitness, and you think, I've done all this myself. And when you take other people up, you do realize, you know, you're not stopping as much as them, and you're feeling like, why are they stopping? And you realize how fit and healthy you've become.
Yeah, that's amazing, really. I mean, hat off to you. You know, you've brought yourself out of a pretty dark place. I mean, you know, we touched on it at the beginning on the introduction kind of thing. You're going through a bit of a hard time with a breakup and stuff at the moment, and with kids and whatnot. And so, you know, and for you to be doing what you're doing, and I'm just hat off to you, you know, for going down that path. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I do appreciate that. Yeah, it's not easy, but you know, you have to keep fighting in life.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. It's easy enough for you to just go home, isn't it? You could easily go home, just pick up crate of beers or something on your way home and just dwell on your problems. But like you said, you've got your boots in the back of the car ready to go. You're always checking the weather, and you know that once you get to them mountains, you're going to feel a hell of a lot better, aren't you? And that's the difficult thing is mainly for people. I mean, I get that myself. Is if I feel a bit down or lack of motivation, it's just getting out, isn't it? It's that first initial kind of get up and go, and then once you're up there, it's not just about walking, is it? I mean, like going back to what you said before about people ask you, why do you like it? Why do you enjoy it so much? I guess they're just thinking of it's just a walk. But they're not thinking of what you're seeing, the visions.
Yeah, they remind me of me before I was interested in Snowdon, and I completely understand. I can see it from both perspectives because I've been not interested and I have been, very interested. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, cool. And I've also noticed on some of your most recent photos you've got a drone.
Yes, I have. I treat myself on Black Friday in December, and I've always wanted a drone. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a little decent beginner one and learn how to fly, so I can see different perspective. Again, keeping things interesting. So I was gonna take it up Snowdon. I've taken it up a few times, trying to get different views, different videos and all sorts. So I've just been training to pilot it around local mountains that are not as big and stuff now.
Yeah. No, it's a great little thing to have. I mean, I've got a little Mavic Mini that I just take on my hikes. It's a little small thing.
I'm very jealous.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, the reason I got it is because it's so small. It's lightweight. You can just shove it in your bag, and it's just another great little thing to take on a hike. I mean, hikes are great in themselves anyway, but
yeah.
If you've got a little hobby that you also have to incorporate in these hikes as well. I mean, I love going out, filming things and all that kind of stuff. So, no, I think it's great, and I'm looking forward to seeing like what shots you come up with. I've seen a few already, and they're pretty cool, man. Fair play.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
No, and you're on. Just to mention to the listeners, you're on Instagram. What's the name of your page?
Yeah, it's hiking_addict.
Okay, cool. And what I'll do is I'll put the link to that in the show notes as well, because if anyone wants to see what you're up to or anything like that, they can head over there and check you out.
Yeah, thank you. I really do appreciate that.
So, and you mentioned actually the other day you tried paddleboarding for the first time.
Yeah, I did get a taste of it. Yeah, I mean it was a pretty strange experience. Someone just said, "Why don't you jump on it?" And I thought, well, what have I got to lose? So, I stood up on the paddleboard, and surprisingly, I got my balance quite quickly, and I got used to it very quickly. And, a lot of people do find that helps them as well compared to the mountain climbing for me. And I found it very therapeutic after I got the balance right and everything. And yeah, I actually really do enjoy it.
Yeah. And there's something about the water, isn't there, as well? There's something about the ocean and the sound of the waves hitting the board, and it's very, like relaxing.
Yeah, it is very relaxing, yeah, and it's not easy as well. It's like learning to ride a bike the first time. You got to take a few falls before you master it. Yeah. And well, touch wood, I haven't fallen in yet because I know how cold the water is, so that maybe is a big part of it, So we did go. I did rent one on the weekend, and we had about 2 hours on it. So I had a good solid 2 hours on the lake there, and I actually did quite fall in love with that as well.
Nice. Well, that's another nice little hobby to pick up, absolutely. And living on Anglesey, you're in a pretty decent place to kind of do it around there. Yeah. No, I've got some friends that they go down to Newborough quite a lot, Newborough Beach.
Oh yeah.
They do paddleboarding and kayaking and all that around Llanddwyn Island there. It's one of my favourite places in North Wales, that, to be honest. The views from there are stunning, aren't they?
In Llanddwyn, yeah, it's definitely it's my favourite beach as well.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for a while, and now that the gates have opened, as we're recording this, Wales has just opened up a little bit for travel, so I'm definitely going to head back there when I get home.
Yeah, and take your drone with you because there's some good places to go there.
No, absolutely. Yeah. No, I will. And just going back to hiking and stuff, when you're out in the mountains,
Yeah.
Do you like listening to music when you're out, or do you prefer just listening to the sounds of nature?
I prefer listening to the sounds of nature. I feel like I can think better. I can look after myself better. I've never actually listened to music going up mountains before.
Yeah, that's great, to be honest. I mean, I've kind of swayed that way in the last few years, definitely, leaving the headphones at home and just because we're always inundated with kind of sounds and noises and
it's nice to reconnect with nature.
Yeah, it's great. It's good to kind of just have that time of just no sound. Like as we're recording this, I'm down in South Wales and I'm doing some voluntary work on a farm here. It's like a caravan park stroke farm.
Oh yeah.
And I was out in the garden today, just digging over some beds ready for some veg to be grown, and there was just the sounds of the birds and the wind, and it was just so peaceful. And usually, a couple of years ago, I might have had my headphones in, like listening to some relaxing music or something, thinking I'm kind of adding to the experience. But in fact, the way I think of it now, sometimes you're taken away from the experience because you're not getting the whole experience in a way.
No, exactly. No, I really do agree. I think it's nice to be able to just have that peace and quiet, so you're actually 100% concentrating on what you're doing, and it's much easier to appreciate things. I think music can take you away from it and make you feel like you're in a different place sometimes. It depends what kind of music you listen to, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, while I travel around and stuff, I still like listening to music in my headphones and things, but I always, I'll have music that kind of suits the environment almost,
Yeah.
So that it kind of adds to it. I mean, but yeah, I've definitely swayed towards the more peaceful, just the sounds of nature and things, especially when you're going through things like forests and woodland and that, and you've got all the different types of birds singing.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no better sounds than the different types of birds. Yeah. It does add a lot to it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, when I was talking about the birds, that's something I've wanted to pick up on, actually, is the different sounds and what birds they are, because as I'm walking along now, I'm listening to all these different like tweets and things, and I'm thinking, wonder what bird that is, so I think that's something I'd like to kind of pick up and investigate in a way, just so I know what birds are out there and what I'm listening to.
Yeah, I'm not very experienced with birds, but I know I've heard a woodpecker before not long ago. That was around the Mathraeth Newborough forest, and I never heard one in my life before. And hearing that, I was like, I'm sure that was a woodpecker.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Have you seen the red squirrels there in Newborough Forest?
I have, yeah. Luckily, I have. I've seen quite a few of them, yeah, and it's quite nice to see, some kind of rare things these days, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful part of the world. I definitely need to get there in the next week or two for sure.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know and I'll join you.
Yeah, no, we were speaking on the phone, weren't we? And we'll arrange definitely to go for a hike up Snowdon or one of the peaks around there, and even maybe head over to Llandwyn from there for sunset or something.
Yeah, that'd be
Sounds
great.
Quite romantic, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, well, everyone needs to be at peace, it is nice, yeah.
No, but that sounds like a beautiful day, doesn't it? Going up a mountain, coming down, driving over to Llandwyn and just kind of watching the sun go down to finish it off.
Yeah, just sounds like you're missing a barbecue now.
Well, I might shove one in the car.
I'll bring the bin bags.
Cool. Yeah, so in these podcasts, one thing I'm asking the guests is if they've got like a story of gratitude, whether they've had a moment in life where they just feel kind of grateful for the the most simple things in life.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not appreciating where I live, and it's not, not getting involved more in my hobbies, but obviously being backed in a corner where I don't have a choice, and I've picked this. I now really do appreciate where I live. I'm grateful to have all this on my doorsteps. When you've got people driving hours and hours and hours just to get to where you live.
Yeah,
and you really do appreciate it. And obviously, again, health is your wealth. I really do appreciate that. I've got good health, and I'm even healthier and stuff now. I'm being able to go out and do these things as well.
Yeah, you must feel quite grateful for all of that. And I guess if I'd have asked you this a couple of years back, you're in a totally different place in life, right?
Yeah, it would have been a different answer. It actually would have been a very hard question to answer, and it would have made me question my life. But yeah, I'm obviously very grateful for my children and stuff. You know, they've given me the motivation in life as well to be a better dad for them, and just to constantly be there for them and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, talking about your kids, I've seen a couple of your posts on Instagram, and it's just beautiful to see you with your children and the way you are with them and things like that. You know, it must be quite a difficult thing, like with them, you know, having autism and what you're going through, basically.
Yeah, it is quite difficult. You know, it's very different to neurotypical children, and you know, it gives you that ability to love your children to a whole another level. You know, it is very difficult. You know, but at the end of the day, you can argue with it, but you know, there's nothing that you can do about it. But just embrace it and just realize how different they can be, and it just opens your eyes, and you really do love them to a different level.
No, they're very special children. I mean, like I worked in a care home with, for severe autism and learning difficulties. There was 10 people living there, and so I know how kind of difficult it can be. But I also know how amazing these children can be as well. You know.
Yeah, well, we learn things from them, you know, because you know that's the beauty of it, is being able to understand each other and learn from each other and adapt to each other. You know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully one day, you know, you'll get to take them up into the mountains and...
Yeah, I'm planning on taking my son, as he's at an age, he's 7 now, so he's at a good age, and he's a good walker as well. So you know, he's got his fitness there, and I want to teach him that it's good to go outside and to have these long walks. And it would be nice to take him up there this year and have a little picnic at the top. And it would be a big achievement for myself in order to have him. Yeah,
that would be beautiful.
Yeah, I'll be taking plenty of pictures, but I won't be able to take my drone up, I don't think.
Well, you never know. But no, that would be really nice, and I'm pretty sure he'll enjoy it. You know, there's a few autistic kids that I looked after. They absolutely loved the outdoors. You know, they loved getting out into nature, and it did them good. You know, it de-stressed them, basically.
Yeah.
It helped with their condition and everything, you know.
Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah, no, the outdoors is a very special place. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like a natural act that really proves that it does. You know, I mean, they're not aware that the outdoors are kind of there for that reason, you know, and but it makes them feel better.
Yeah, it does. It just makes you feel like you're going to the park when you were younger, you know, or it was a Christmas morning or something for Snowdon for me.
Yeah. Well, cheers, Sean. I mean, I've got a section at the end here that I call Turn the Table, and it's where the guest gets to ask me a question. So I don't know whether you've got a question there for me, or...
I actually haven't got a question, but I'll have to think of one quickly. You know.
No, you don't have to. There's no worries if you can't think of anything. It's not a problem.
When are we going for this barbecue in Llanddwyn?
Well, we'll get that going then. We'll arrange that for sure. I'm going to be home in a few days, I guess, in about a week or so. I'll be back for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that'll be good. If you keep in touch and let me know, and we'll be able to sort something out. It seems the weather's getting better and the days are getting later. You know,
definitely.
Something nice to look forward to. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You can't beat these light nights that are coming out now in spring. It's probably, well, yeah, if not my favourite season here. You know, everything's just coming alive, and all these plants are, you know, all the wildflowers are coming out. It's a beautiful time of the year, isn't it? Yeah,
especially when we get snow as well in this strange weather that we've had the last couple of days. We get to enjoy different kind of, you know.
Have you been up the mountains with the snow recently?
Yeah, I was up on the weekend. I went up on Saturday, and there was quite a bit of snow up on the top of Snowdon. I went to Moel Siabod, but there wasn't any snow. Well, there was snow there, but not as much. But you know, it's a complete different world. How warm it is down here and how cold it was up there, and you think, well, there's snow up there. What?
Yeah, and that's another beautiful thing, isn't it? About hiking up to height. You know, it's like a different world sometimes, isn't it? Like you say, you're up there in the snow, and it's, you know, you're fighting the elements, and then you come down, and it's like, oh,
calm.
It's a different world here.
Yeah, no, it is a very nice feeling. Yeah, it's like coming out of the gym, I guess, and all the endorphins are going crazy when you've just done something.
Yeah, and you look at everyone down there, don't you? Thinking you haven't got a clue really what
they're
it's
not
like
aware.
Up there.
Yeah, they're not aware of anything. They're in shorts and t-shirts, and you've just been in big, massive layers of coat about a few hours ago.
Yeah, and it can change, like the weather can just change dramatically up there as well, can't it? You know?
Yeah, I've learned that. Yeah, so I always keep things in my bag. You know, things I don't need, but I'd rather have it there than not need it.
Absolutely, that's essential, really, isn't it? Thinking
Yeah.
ahead, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like,
Quick question to you, Sean, as well. Have you thought? I don't know if you do this, but do you walk around any of the coastline of Anglesey? I mean, do you do coastal walks, that kind of thing, or is it just mountains?
I actually do like flat walking. You know, I don't mind. Like I said, Newborough Beach is my favourite beach, and you've got miles and miles and miles of sand on there, especially with the Newborough Forest connected to it as well, and Malltraeth Forest. There's a lot of paths there. I mean, I don't really do much of other places. You know, I don't really know. I need to discover them myself. I was just so motivated in hitting more summits and stuff. But I'll never turn a nice walk, you know, around the lake or the beach down. You know, I probably could do with spending a bit more time at beaches, but we haven't really had the weather. But it seems now it's spring. You know, it's going to start opening up again, and probably be on my mind a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're not as obviously. I know you do Snowdon and everything. It's for the fitness thing as well, isn't it? And it's, you know, it's uphill. It's the challenge. But the coastal walks, I think they're very therapeutic as well, because you're right next to the ocean. There's a lot to do down the Llyn Peninsula. You know, you should get down there.
Yeah, I've never been down there before. No.
Mate, honestly, you should get down there. Just park up. I could give you a few little places to kind of
that'd be great.
Point you out and stuff. But you know, you just walk along I think the whole coast, the whole coast. You can walk around the whole peninsula if you wanted. So it's just very therapeutic. You know, you come across these little bays, these little beaches that you might not come a lot.
Well, all the hidden gems for you, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You know, and you quite often walk past some historic little kind of sites, or you know, and it's just having the ocean there as well, and especially if you're doing it around sunset time. Or,
different sounds and different ambience again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, I mean, it's maybe not quite as demanding with the walking, but you know, you can make it what you want. Basically.
We can do it on a rest day, yeah. When your legs are hurting from the previous day, you have a nice little stretchy walk, yeah.
No, that's it, mate. Exactly. It's more like just a therapeutic kind of, just a more relaxing kind of way of getting out there, you know.
Yeah, it'd probably be good for the people who are not into the competitive side of Snowdon. You know, like even just walking in general. You know, it is nice, and to go out of the house for a few hours to have that break. You know, I think is very important.
Yeah. And what about camping? Do you do camping, or you got any thoughts of?
I've never done camping, but I'd love to. But I'm a kind of person that would scare myself. I would be thinking, oh, what's that wind brushing against the tent, or what's that branch? You know, I would be working myself up. So I'd have to have someone brave with me, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe get into solo. I'm just thinking, because of the way you're doing your hikes and stuff, you do a lot yourself. I think if you plucked up the courage to kind of do a bit of solo camping, you seem like the kind of person that would probably absolutely love it once you've done it.
Yeah, I mean, just like Snowdon, you know, it's something I would have to do. I'd have to do it once, and then I'd probably fall in love with it, and you know, consider it a lot more often, and look back thinking, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking to buy a tent in order to push myself to do it. I mean, it would be nice to do a bit of wild camping and just making food in a different environment, and just, you know.
Well, that's what we'll have to do. Because I bought myself a little tent last year, and I haven't even used it yet because the weather took a turn for the worse before I could even use it. So I've bought myself a whole little setup there that's ready to kind of go, you know. So let me know if you ever fancy doing that with summer coming up and that, and we'll go for a little wild camp somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be great. That sounds really nice. Yeah, that'd be well good.
You'd enjoy it, and I'd enjoy it as well. It'd be it's good. It'll be a good crack. Yeah. Get a little fire going, get the marshmallows over the fire and all that, you know.
Yeah, no.
We're sounding all romantic again. Yeah. What's going on?
I won't be going back to work on this rate. Yeah.
But all good, mate. It just goes to show there's so many things to enjoy and look forward to around where we live, especially. We're very, very lucky and blessed, aren't we, with the surroundings.
Yeah, it's just getting that first step, you know. It's very easy to be, I can't be bothered. But then, you know, you're glad you did it. And that's the important thing, is that can't be asked feeling. You need to let it go for a bit and just get out there, enjoy life, and just live a bit and have some good memories.
Yeah. And I guess you've kind of answered this question, I guess, but why would you recommend this activity to other people to pick up and give it a go?
You know, like I said, the feeling of motivation and the feeling, just doing something, getting out there, go out the house, plan something, be excited for something. I just highly recommend it because it's helped me, and you know, and for other people that might be going through difficult times, there's obviously a list of different things that people can be going through, and I could not recommend it enough. It worked for me, and there's no harm in trying. What are you going to lose? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the good thing with hiking, isn't it? It's pretty much free. Like you might have to buy a pair of walking boots or something, but you don't have to go mad, do you? 40, 50 quid or something, and off you go kind of thing.
Well, you can even do it in trainers, in the summertime when it's nice and dry. So some paths and stuff are nice and safe and decent and stuff like that. But the more demanding ones, they're the ones for the next level stuff when people feel they're ready. I've been up Snowdon many of times before I was ready to do the Crib Goch one, and then like as I did it, it's like training to do something, and then when I was doing it, there was no fear there. It felt like I was just walking around my house. It just felt so good that I prepared myself mentally, physically, and then just being confident and being able to do it, and then surprising myself at the end, thinking that was such an amazing experience. I'm so glad I did that. So I'm always open to these things all the time, like the wild camp. I'll never turn it down, because you don't know. It's like when you go to a nightclub, you're too shy to dance, but then you go out dancing, and then you have the wild night, and you really actually just enjoyed yourself or made a lot of people laugh. But either way, it's a bonus.
Either way, it's made someone happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need to live your life.
Yeah, no, I love your outlook on life, Sean. I really do, and I've got so much respect for you for how you've the direction you've taken, given the situation that you're kind of currently going through, and the last couple of years have been very difficult for you. So well done, mate. Well done for what you've done, and you're looking a lot more trim, if you don't mind me saying.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
And so it's obviously done you mentally and physically well.
Yeah.
In all aspects, basically.
Yeah.
So well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that, guy. Thank you.
No, honestly, well, that's it, mate. That's pretty much it. Thanks. I just want to thank you again, for the time. I know you've got a lot going on at the moment, and I just really appreciate your time, mate.
No, that's absolutely fine. Anything I can do to help other people, I will. I'm all up for it. I'll always just like to support other people and stuff.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is, like I say, I'll put your Instagram link in the show notes so that the listeners can get you on there. And if anyone wants to get in touch with Sean, what he's basically saying is, if you want to talk about your if you're going through anything similar to what he's going through, he's more than happy to talk to you about it.
Yeah, definitely more than happy to help other people. I'm always my hands are always welcoming other people. No, that's very kind, mate, and that's what these kind of podcasts are about as well, is to give people ideas of things to do, and also what you're saying there is great. Like you're willing to help other people, and because you've been through it yourself, and you know how it feels not to have someone there, like you said, feeling a bit lonely and stuff. So sometimes people do need someone to talk to, don't they? And sometimes speaking to a stranger or someone that you don't quite know too well is easier than speaking to someone that definitely.
well.
Even just speaking to a stranger, it does, because I don't even know you, but look, we get on very well, and that's it. You don't know until you speak to people, and these things happen. I don't think we would have met if any of these things would have happened to myself.
Yeah. Exactly, mate. It's crazy. And I was the woman I did the first podcast with. I was saying to her, I mean, with these podcasts, eventually, after doing a few and getting to know quite a lot of people, it would be quite nice to do almost like a little group.
Yeah, I'd be well
get
up
together.
For that.
Like a hike or just choose an activity where people can get together and.
No, that sounds great. That'd be fantastic. A lot of people, people that have been through, walk these roads, and that'd be fantastic. They're probably like all lovely people now after being through what they've been, and
and that's what happens, right? You go through something. You have to go through hard things sometimes to appreciate what you've got and all that kind of jazz, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree with that. Yeah.
So, thanks again, Sean. I appreciate your time, and we'll definitely get that hike in or that romantic walk along the beach together at some point, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak again soon, okay?
All right, then. Thank you very much.
Take care, Sean.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later, mate. Bye. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that chat with Sean. What a lovely guy and so inspiring. He found himself in a place of life where he was content, only for his world to come crashing down and finding himself in a place of despair and loneliness. But rather than picking up a beer and drowning his sorrows, He picked up a pair of walking boots instead and hiked up Wales's highest mountain, 81 times in fact. Not only has he lost a load of weight, but he's also kept his mind healthy by using the power of the outdoors, and I take my hat off to him for that. Sean's life hasn't been easy over the last couple of years, and he's still battling with certain things in his life, so to see how determined he is and how positive he is mentally is truly inspiring. And like Sean said, if you want to get in touch with him about how he's turned his life around, and if you want guidance on how to follow in his footpath, then follow the link to his Instagram page in the show notes. He's more than happy to help. Thank you once again for tuning in. If you want to join us over on Facebook and Instagram, then search for My Meditation Podcast. I'll leave the links to both in the show notes, as well as the link to the official My Meditation Podcast channel, which you're more than welcome to subscribe to. The Facebook and Instagram page offer positive, inspiring and light-hearted quotes, photos and videos designed to bring a little happiness into your life. If you found any value from this podcast, I'd highly appreciate it if you could rate it and review it. And if you're feeling extra passionate, then please feel free to share it with the world and spread the word. It all helps the channel grow, which in turn means we can reach more people, which means helping more people. These podcasts are getting released every fortnight, so I hope you can join us for the next, and who knows, it could be about an interesting hobby or activity that could possibly be a life changer for you. Until then, take care and have fun, folks. Peace.